again, I get this instant sort of credibility. You were disadvantaged or weren't given privilege. And I'll start with my own example. I was at Stater Brothers the other day at the deli counter, and I had walked up after two, I think they were of Latino descent in front of me, and I walked up after them, and they were busy in the back, taking forever, we were all waiting, and as soon as they came out, the white guy, or it may have been a girl, I don't remember, looked at me and said, "Can I help you?" Automatically assumed I was there first. And I said, "No, you can actually help those folks first, and when you're done, you can help me." But those are the types of things where I could have just said, "Yeah, this is what I want," and step to the front of the line and have those folks wait. But now I'm far more conscious of it now. Yes.
Well, for me, I can't even like name something because I don't even know what it's like to not be privileged, because the things you're saying, like, I don't ever get asked for ID when I'm using a credit card or when I'm writing a check or anything. And I've worked at places where we're required to check ID, like it pops up on the screen and stuff, and it's only for certain people. And I started noticing after a while it was like different last names that weren't like American or like of white descent last names. And like I can't even name something because I don't even know like what it's like to not be privileged.
It's like trying to name all the ways you're not hassled.
Right.
It's hard to.
I've never gotten pulled over before. I've never gotten a ticket. I've never even been pulled over before.
Yeah. By the way, I was with a group of African American moms that told me that the first things they teach their sons when they become drivers is, if you're stopped by a police officer, you put both hands on the steering wheel and you stay as still as you possibly can. Because too many of their sons were killed by police officers.
That's true, because that's what my mom taught my brother when he first started driving. And it was really sad, because I was like, why is she telling that? But my cousins and everybody else lives in Inglewood, and not that that's a bad place, but I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Whenever he would drive, and if you see an officer, don't do anything, just make sure they can see every part of your body.
So where you will eventually be a mom of young boys, you will never have to waste brain space thinking about how to protect your son from police officers, because I was always taught, these are my friends. They're here to protect you, and if you have a problem, go to them. But that's really only true for part of us. Yes.
Well, I don't know if this has to do with race or anything. I think it was, but I used to work at Whiteness in the child care department, and I was always early. I was always very punctual. I was very polite to everybody that I worked with, and never called in or anything. And there were a couple girls of white.
White.
And,
you can say it, it's all right.
Yeah, they were white, and they would never come into work. They never called in. I would be left there as the only person with like 20-something kids. And I actually asked for the day off because it was my sister's baby shower, like a week in advance. And I was like, I can't work this Saturday. So one of the girls called off or something, or didn't show up, and they called me to work. And I was like, no, I'm not working. I can't work this day. I showed up the next day for when I was scheduled. I worked for like 4 hours. Then the manager comes in, he's like, I need to talk to you. He's like, you didn't show up, you're fired. And I was like, whoa. I was like, I've never had like a warning, nothing. I've never, I did my job to the best of my ability. And these girls that I saw that slacked all the time,
well, let me demystify the system for you. You are held to a higher standard.
I guess, yeah.
You are. And you'll find that it is much more difficult for faculty of color to get tenure than white faculty. It is much more difficult for people of color to be promoted than white people. So when I'm demystifying, I'm just saying this is how our system works. It's going to be harder for you